I gave a fish CPR once. And I forgot all about it.
I caught our oven on fire. We couldn't use it anymore.
Cereal is soup, everybody.
Perfect.
You heard it here first. All right.
We'll do an actual intro this time since we accidentally cut out our last one. I'm Katelyn.
I'm Ian.
This is Hear Me Out Podcast.
Welcome to the Hear Me Out Podcast. This is episode 3 of the Hear Me Out Podcast, which is further than most people thought we'd get. So
we already beat mine and Kara's record. This will be the defining one that beats the record.
Take that, Kara. You've been the start of This is the second time you've been the start of the podcast.
Actually, yeah.
Last time we were talking about how you haven't followed us yet, and that is still the case.
Yeah, but you know, we're helping make you a household name.
We are. We've mentioned your name on this podcast, and we have not got any compensation for it. Yeah. And all the compensation we want is a follow.
Yeah, we're not asking for a lot. We just want your support.
I don't even think she's listened to the last episode yet. I don't think she is aware that we talked about her at all.
She probably hasn't listened to the first episode.
Just keep talking about her at the beginning of this podcast until she realizes that we're talking about her.
You think eventually by word of mouth through our friends it's going to reach her?
I would hope so. Yeah. If not, that means no one's watching our podcast.
I don't want to...
all of you guys are watching them. No one in the office is, which is okay.
That's okay.
We don't need...
We're not here to beg for views or anything like that. We want it to become, an organic kind of thing.
Right.
Where people choose to listen to us.
Yeah.
And so if it organically happens with Kara and we come up on her For You feed enough, she might get, because here's what happens with the For You feed. You follow somebody and you will never see their video again.
I don't understand that about TikTok. I found that recently too. I followed there's this podcast I started watching. I'm going to turn this down even more a little bit.
Yeah.
There's this podcast I started listening to. It's like the PAH boys. I don't know. It's these two guys.
Fat?
P-A... It's a really weird TikTok name, but it's not their name of their podcast. I'm not sure why they named it that. But I followed them because I was laughing hysterically to their clips on the plane the other day. Mm-hmm. And I haven't seen one since. It's really sad.
No, they're some of my favorite creators that I finally was like, you deserve a follow from me.
Yeah.
Never saw them again.
They just vanish.
And then I forget about them.
I do too. Yeah.
It's just out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
So that's why all the stuff in the back of the fridge goes bad for me. Do you know how many...
Same.
Very recently, I think it was Melissa cleaning out her fridge. My roommate, for those of you who don't know, which is probably most of you since our friends don't follow us.
Since none of you were watching.
But I think we were cleaning out, maybe we were about to go somewhere, I don't remember. But I had 4 bags of carrots in the fridge because basically what happened was I just forgot that I had carrots. So I'd go to the store and I'd be like, do I have carrots? Better get a bag to be safe.
I don't think I've bought carrots since I moved here, to be honest.
Really?
I'm not a carrot eater, though.
That's
why my eyes are so bad.
Do you think it's why? I heard that dark leafy greens would probably be better for you because what is it? It's the vitamin A that you want?
I have no idea.
Your eyes? I don't even know if that's proven.
I have no idea.
Could be an old wives' tale.
Probably is.
Maybe. Just to get to get kids to eat their vegetables.
Yep.
My mom used to shred up carrots and put it in pumpkin bread.
Because there used to be a bunny that said, if you eat your carrots, your eyes will be good.
What?
Right? That was the mascot of the carrot company. The rabbit.
The carrot company? What carrot company?
I don't know. I feel like I always watched commercials whenever I was younger with a rabbit who always said if you want your eyes to be good, you got to eat your carrots. Maybe I'm making up all this. I have no idea. I swear on my life, though, that when I was younger, I'd watch a commercial with a bunny that said, if you want your eyes to be good, gotta eat your carrots.
Was it like an animated bunny?
Yeah, I think so.
Like the cereal Silly Rabbit, Tricks Are for Kids bunny?
Yeah.
Huh.
I hope it's not the same one. And I hope I'm not just making all this up, because that would be crazy.
I remember...
But I feel like I have this memory.
I'll have to look this up after. Maybe it was a regional thing because
Maybe.
Melissa used to get commercials for a certain kind of ice cream that we don't have in Georgia, but she would get ice cream commercials for that specific brand that was in her region.
Huh.
So maybe it's like that because I would get, we stopped having normal TV when I was in 5th grade.
Yeah.
So after that, it was just we would get DVD rentals from Netflix when it was a mail-in service. Way back in the day. Do you remember that?
I don't think I knew Netflix was a mail-in service.
They would send you DVDs and stuff. You'd get it in a little case and you'd send it back.
We had a family video where you just
we did that too.
Walk yourself on down to the store, pick up a video.
We'd pick out a couple for the weekend to keep us. And then sometimes we would go to the library and we would get really old VHS tapes and we'd get those too.
Wow, I forgot the libraries had those.
Me too. I've been trying to get a library card here for a while.
What's taking you so long?
I don't want to go there.
Oh, I was going to say, I walked in and they gave me one on the spot.
Wait, you have one?
Yeah.
Have you been to the library in Savannah?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Have you rented Have you checked out any
There's
books?
just a bunch of homeless people at it a lot of the time.
Oh.
But it's a very nice library with a lot of books.
Nice.
A lot of knowledge.
Well, knowledge is for everyone.
You ever hear that? You ever see that commercial? It's this guy in his garage. He's like, here in my garage, I got this Lamborghini. But
You showed that to me. You showed that to me, like, what, not even a week ago?
To you?
Yeah.
I showed it to a couple people. I was like, every time someone says the word knowledge, it's the first thing that comes to my head now.
That's crazy.
Knowledge. You know what I like more than this Lamborghini? These books over here.
I think about that guy who I assume was somewhere out west, like Colorado, and he was like, you can tell it's an Aspen because of the way it is.
That's a great one too.
I know that one.
The Nature Walk.
I know nothing about that one. Well, until you showed me anyway.
The Nature Walk's gold.
Nature Walks. All right, listen. I have some fun questions for us.
Hit me.
Or do we want to talk?
Yeah, this podcast is going to be pretty loose, guys.
It's pretty loose.
We do have a cruise coming up, which we'll touch on.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to do that first before we get into the nitty gritty of
these
questions?
Let's do that real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
That's the only thing that's happening in our lives right now, really. Just
Yeah.
kind of grinding at work and got this cruise coming up.
Yeah, we're preparing. So we're getting, like, we both edit a ton of videos, film some stuff. So we're getting a giant library of videos, I guess, for all of our platforms to go out. And then when we get on the
At
cruise, we just don't have to do anything.
That's
yeah,
facts.
not this
You
platform.
could probably turn yours up a little bit.
I'll turn the mic up a bit. I'm kind of scared of it because the second I laugh, it's going to peak.
True.
Maybe right here. It's hitting like yellow.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Okay.
But yeah, we're just kind of grinding out some last minute TikToks and Instagram videos and YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. We were on a boat for 4 days.
Melissa was saying, again, for those of you who don't know, roommate, reminder. I'm going to make everybody a household name. Anyway, I don't know what I was saying. Oh, she was watching a documentary last night about the Bermuda Triangle because she was like, I think we're going to be in it.
I don't think we are.
I got really
I'm pretty sure the
confused.
Bermuda Triangle is on the other side of the...
That's what I thought too. But then she pulled up here. Let me just Google it because that's going to bother me.
I think the Bermuda Triangle is between here and Hawaii.
Well, it showed it off Miami.
Wow, that was a dumb comment then. Only thing I know about the Bermuda Triangle is that Scooby-Doo and his friends went there once.
It's it's like right where we are, right?
We kind of will be in the Bermuda Triangle then.
Yeah.
We're actually going right through the Bermuda Triangle.
I never got all that. Like, yeah, there's been some shady stuff that has gone down there, but
It's just because you lose signal
yeah,
there, which I don't know why, but
but I'm not scared of it.
no, me neither.
Like the video
I
that
think
she
the
was
Coast Guard
watching.
can take care of us.
Yeah, this guy was just kind of like scuba diving there, and I was like, doesn't
Yeah.
even look that deep. He was just vibing.
Just chilling.
Yeah. Anyway, some people are booking excursions for the cruise, so we have I know at least 2 people that are going to swim with pigs.
I didn't understand that one, to be honest.
I've never even heard of that. Swim with dolphins? Sure. Manatees for a bit. I don't know if they do that anymore because I know they're endangered. And then sea turtles? No, that's not right.
When I envisioned swimming with pigs, I had kind of envisioned, I had the hiccups.
Perfect time to get them.
I envision, wow.
You're doing good.
I envision pigs drowning and you're like in a pool with them.
What? Wait.
They throw a bunch of pigs in the pool and say, I swim with them. That's what I envision.
That's not what I was envisioning at all. Why would you envision them
Because
drowning?
I just don't see pigs swimming. I see pigs that are fat and in a cage.
I do wonder
Well,
how
not
they
a cage,
swim.
in one of their pig huts.
Because you think about the general mass of all of their body minus their legs, which are just like tiny little matchsticks compared to the rest of them. I used to live next to a house on my street. This is pig related, I promise.
Uh-huh.
There's this house somewhere on my street. Actually, they're still there now that I think about it. My parents' house, and they have a bunch of loose chickens. Not that uncommon from where I am.
No, I have a bunch of loose chickens around me too.
Also, a giant 400-pound hog or pig or something, and he's just on the side of the road vibing. He was there every time I went to Walmart.
That's crazy.
I know.
400-pound pig.
But I couldn't imagine him swimming, But maybe they're just buoyant.
Maybe.
You think about bacon, you think about all the white fat strips on it. Maybe
Is that where these pigs live down in the Bahamas? In the water?
you think there's just a breed of pigs that just swim around, or do you think they give them life jackets?
That's probably what they do. Here you go, pig.
I think they put
chuck
like
you in the water with a life jacket. Have
like
fun.
one of the lifesaver things, and they just like put one around
Maybe.
the neck and then one around the back end, and they just kind of float like that. What kind of pigs are we talking here?
I don't know.
Cute pigs?
They looked kind of cute in the photos.
Should I look? Oh, did you actually see pictures?
I did, but it was advertising pictures, which are so fake. It's
No.
insane.
When I went on a cruise, and
Also, the internet is so fake. I've also realized that this week. We'll touch that later.
you just now realized that?
I've always known that, but like
Yeah.
I did something this week that just made me realize how fake the internet was. I don't remember what it was. I gotta think of it.
Can you think of some examples?
Photoshop, for example.
The AI stuff that I keep seeing,
The AI
trend
stuff
where
is crazy.
have you seen the one? Well, there's this thing that came up on Instagram yesterday, and I get like a lot of like right now a lot of like Christmas homes that are like decked out.
Yeah.
And this one person was like, look at this family that made their entire house look like gingerbread, and I was like, I don't think that's real, but it's hard to tell. And it wasn't even just like the classic like they go in and they draw over stuff. It's the AI. And like you just can't tell.
I can't trust any photo I see online anymore.
No.
I just don't believe anything.
Swim.
I saw a video of a bear chasing a skier the other day, and I was like, this is just not real.
I've
There's
seen
no
that
chance.
video.
It's just I feel like it's just a CGI'd bear.
I think I saw it broken down. Oh, these are cute pigs.
Was it fake?
Ian, it was fake. These are cute.
There we go.
Look at how cute they are.
Yeah, see, those are marketing photos, though. And
No,
why are the pigs in the water? They don't belong on water.
That's scary.
That's terrifying.
Oh,
Show the camera that one. If they can see it.
if you can see, let me just describe it to you all. Have you guys seen Maze Runner? Because I recently have.
That's a great movie.
And it's a very good movie. I was trying to find something to fill the void of the Hunger Games since I've been through all 4 in the past 3 days.
I respect it.
And Maze Runner was suggested to me. But their mouths, the things in the maze, whatever they're called, their mouths kind of look like that when they open.
Kind of do.
For the camera. For people who aren't watching, let me just describe this to you. This mouth is kind of like, think about a raw, freshly cut pair of ribs that you'd get at like a meat market.
Yeah?
That's the roof of the mouth. Would you agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I would.
and then the tongue is kind of like a shriveled up frog. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I
Like
would.
a frog that you accidentally run over in the driveway and it flattens
Right.
because either me or Melissa did that a couple of...
Guys are murderers.
I got home and I was like, oh my gosh, I've just killed something.
That's tough.
I had a possum with my car one time.
Recently?
I was driving home from dance lessons near my parents' house.
Yeah.
At this point, not in high school anymore. I think I was at UNG at the time, which is why I was living there. And I was driving home on this really curvy road, pitch black outside, mountain road. We get a lot of possums, we get a lot of raccoons, deer, stuff like that. You got to be on the lookout for them. But it's midnight. I'm like, nothing's out here with me. So I'm just cruising. And I turn my head for 2 seconds. I turn my head back, possum, middle of the road. Not the road, but middle of my lane. I'm not going to swerve.
No.
I'm not going to swerve. They say you're not supposed to do that.
Don't do that.
And I was like, too late to hit the brakes. He's right there. So this possum, originally, he's like facing away from me. He turns his head last second. My headlights shine on him. His whole mouth, their mouths are scary too.
Yeah.
When they open. He hisses at me and then thunk. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a murderer.
That's tough.
I
I hit a bird right before I moved down here, and I hit it with my mom's car, and my sister was in the car, and she's like, I can't believe you just hit that bird. Like, you gotta stop the car. You gotta stop the car. We're gonna make sure it's alive. I'm like, Lauren, we're not stopping the car to make sure this bird that I just hit can survive.
Yeah, it's probably not alive.
Even if it is. What are we gonna do? Or if it's not, are we always gonna...
We took a bird to a vet one time.
Really?
Yeah, because one of my outdoor cats, well, all of our animals growing up were like outdoor pets because they had the space for it. We were by the woods, and one of them was just like an amazingly good hunter. What are you laughing at?
Well, something you just said completely just reminded me of something. Keep going.
Okay, so one of them, and just incredible hunter, and like the unfortunate thing about him was that. Do you need to tell your story first?
No, keep going.
So, Maybe I should stop saying hunter. Is that what's making it?
It's not.
It's making
I
you
need
laugh?
to stop thinking about it.
Is there a trigger word?
No, I don't know what it is.
But anyway, he killed a hummingbird one time. Like, he caught a hummingbird,
tough.
which is crazy.
That is crazy.
And
They're
so
fast.
my mom found, I don't even know how she found out so quickly. She comes inside. She's got the hummingbird in a rag. And she was like, look, guys. And I was like,
What are we doing here?
I was like 10 maybe. I was like,
This
oh
your
my
mom?
gosh. Yeah. And she's like, we got to help it. It's got a puncture wound. It looked like where the heart was. Wasn't. It would have bled out sooner than
right.
that. But like in the chest. And I was like, ooh, I don't think that's gonna. But my first thought as a 10-year-old was like, can I touch it?
Yeah, right.
So I pet the hummingbird, because when am I gonna get another chance to do that?
That's facts.
And then we took it to the vet, and I think they just put it down because they couldn't do
Classic.
it.
Drove it all the way there just for them.
Yeah,
to...
they got a lot of weird calls from us, I think, because we just had a lot of weird incidents around our house with wild animals, especially.
Interesting.
Yeah. Go ahead. I know you want to.
I gave a fish CPR once. And I forgot all about it until you mentioned something about CPR. But I was fishing. And I was with...
Wait, it was a fish that you caught.
Yeah. I was fishing. I caught this fish. And it took me a little too long to get the hook out of it. So I threw it back in. And it... straight back to the top.
Yeah.
And all my friends were there. And I'm like, this isn't good. So I grab it. And I do one of these things where you let the water flush through the gills. Mm-hmm. And you just like, that pumps oxygen into its system.
Yeah.
Or not oxygen, just water and whatever fish breathes. And...
Whatever fish breathe.
And then it didn't work. He flipped right back over. So I pulled him out of the water. And I'm like, there's only one thing left to do.
Wait, how old were you when this happened?
Oh, this was like 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
So like 16. And then I start pressing on its little heart. And I do this for about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
20 seconds. I grab it, I chuck it back in the water. Gone.
No way!
I flipped out. I was like, no way, I just saved this fish's life by giving it little chest something, I don't know, chest compressions.
See, originally when you said CPR, I was like, man, Ian kissed a fish. He like,
I don't remember if I gave it a little smooch or not.
You wouldn't remember that?
I don't remember. I always kiss fish when you catch them. If it's a good catch, then you throw it
but
back.
Not on the lips, right?
You're
not gonna...
No, I don't think so. Not when I catch it. I don't think I gave it mouth to mouth.
Because believe it or not, I've seen a video where somebody did CPR on a fish. And
Really? Did it save it?
Yeah.
I think there's something behind this.
If you did normal CPR on a fish where you're breathing into it, I don't think it would do anything, right? Because they breathe through their gills. You'd have to put your mouth over the side.
No,
where
I
the
don't think
gill
it would do
is.
anything. Especially because what you're pumping into it, they don't need. They don't need air.
Do they not filter through and get oxygen from the water?
If they did, then why would they die on land?
Oxygen poisoning?
Too much oxygen?
I don't know. Did they just dry out?
What do fish survive on?
Oxygen.
Is it? I don't think it is.
I don't know. I have to look this up.
This is a whole interesting debate.
Fish
I'm going to restart these. No, I'm not. Yes,
breathe?
I'm going to restart this.
Yeah, go ahead. Small commercial break. Sorry, everyone. They do need oxygen.
Sponsored by. Just kidding. None of you guys have reached out yet, you energy drink companies. After the last episode, I thought we'd get so many inquiries. We haven't checked our email yet, though. I haven't checked that email since we made it.
I haven't signed into our email since we made it.
Do you think Celsius is waiting in our inbox?
I hope so, because
Or Ghost.
I'm currently drinking a Celsius.
And I'm drinking a Ghost, so whatever one of you comes quicker.
Yeah. Fight over us.
You guys can be our sponsor.
All right, so...
We all know you want to be our sponsor.
This is like one of those things where, like what you were saying, if you repeated that kind of thing for an hour and somebody fell asleep, do you think it would like drift into their subconscious? You want to be our sponsor. And then one of these people from the energy drink companies, like they are listening to our podcast because they like it.
Of course.
They fall asleep and then we can sense that.
Hear.
We're like, at the 30-minute mark, you just start going, you do want to sponsor us.
You want to sponsor us, Ghost. Yeah. Or Celsius. Or...
Alani Nu.
Any of you out there that makes an energy drink Prime. Logan Paul.
So even though fish can live their lives underwater, they still need oxygen to breathe. Instead of breathing air, they have to get their oxygen from water. So it requires large volumes of water to pass through absorption surfaces to get enough oxygen into their bodies using their mouth and gills. Mouths and gills. So maybe if you did breathe into its mouth, it would get something out of it.
Just give it a couple.
Interesting.
Couple smooches and call it a day. Throw it back in.
Call it a day. You've heard of Princess and the Frog. Now wait for Prince and the Fish.
Prince and the Fish.
Okay.
All right.
I have some fun questions.
That got us off topic.
We've been off topic this whole time.
Fair. There's no topic to this podcast.
There's no topic to this one. This is just us talking. Okay. So I think I'm going to start with maybe like a simpler question.
Okay.
For everyone listening, what we're about to do is we're going through a series of questions mostly provided by some random BuzzFeed article that I found today.
Yep.
And it's just these fun little random things that I think are supposed to be conversation starters for people who may not know each other that well. We obviously know each other.
Yeah.
Actually, I just met you.
But we're
today.
gonna take. What's your name? We're gonna take separate sides of this and argue about it. Wait, I forget what these questions are. I should probably just listen first.
All right. So we'll start with this one.
Yeah.
If you had a nemesis, what kinds of qualities would they have?
This is not where I thought this was going.
There's a few that are kind of along the lines of what you were thinking.
You go first.
So if I had a nemesis, I think, like, ideally, if we're talking about, like, supervillain from a movie or whatever, they would be very well liked by the masses.
Okay.
Everyone loves this person.
Mm-hmm.
Only I know that they are just awful.
And
it's
the worst
not,
kind of person.
And I don't hate them because they're more popular than me. This is not a popularity contest.
That's what they all say.
This is just this is just because they're doing nefarious.
No idea.
Nefarious.
Yeah.
Nefarious sounds right.
Yeah.
It sounds eviler. If they're doing nefarious things, and I can see it, and everybody else is like, I want to elect this person as what's that Man of the Year thing? GQ, something Q, Man of the Year, or this is my.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay.
Is it what Taylor Swift is?
No, because it's a Man of the Year thing. But you know what? If it was person
is your
of the
nemesis
year,
does it have to be a man?
No, but I think when you think about costuming, because
Katelyn's sexist guess.
If you put them in most of the good movie villains that I've seen have been guys.
Okay.
Which is, nothing against.
No, I mean.
Nothing against you guys. I'm just saying a lot of the, and just speaking from Spider-Man alone.
What about all of Rapunzel's grandmothers?
Mother Gothel is a pretty good.
Mothers.
She's a pretty good villain.
What's that one that cleans the floor?
Cinderella.
All of her sisters were awful.
Stepsisters were bad. But were they a nemesis? Like, were they nemesis quality? Like, this is the person that you hate them. Because think about it this way.
True.
And this is just me talking about Spider-Man.
Okay, now I see where you're.
All of the villains, right? All of the ones from the, at least the most.
Seen it.
Oh, yeah. You haven't seen it.
I know. Tough.
But, like, that one guy that wore the weird... Oh, you haven't seen it. Man, this is not going to be a productive conversation. All right, so in Spider-Man, one of the really bad guys from one of the Tom Holland ones, he has basically... Let me just describe him to you. Please. He has, like, this weird snow globe as his costume. It's like a snow globe over his head, and then he's got, like, the cape and everything. He paints himself as a perfect guy. Like, he's a hero. He's a hero from a different planet. Mm-hmm. In reality, are you going to be mad if I spoil this for you?
No.
Okay, perfect. Because I'm about to.
No. If I watch it, I won't remember.
Okay, perfect. So basically, he is, like, fighting. He's got a team, like a theater crew, basically. Like a more of a film crew, I guess. And they have drones, and they create these incredible images. And it looks like these really weird elemental super villain things, and they're trying to wreak havoc, and he's fighting them, and then Spider-Man is fighting him, and then we all know what AI and stuff can do now, so they twist all of Spider-Man's words around. They make him a terrible person. Now everybody thinks that at the end of the movie that Spider-Man killed this hero, but he was a bad guy. That's an arch nemesis.
That's an arch nemesis.
If you ask me. Either that, or maybe it's just like you think you have a best friend and then they end up not being your best friend. That could be nemesis if we're talking about everyday. Or maybe like a giant talking pig would be pretty good.
That was a complete 180. Well, it's the Spider-Man dude, and then he just like blackmails him, or just a flying pig.
No, talking.
Oh, sorry, talking. Does he swim as well?
Yeah, I'm thinking, we're in the Bahamas. We're swimming around. We're with all these happy little pigs, who, by the way, are as smart as toddlers, or smarter than. Like, they're intelligent little dudes, and then you're swimming around this one.
Do you think a pig could technically drown a person on purpose?
That's what I was thinking.
So I don't want to go swimming with these things.
Dolphins definitely can.
They definitely can, but they won't.
Dolphins
they're so
are
nice.
Bullies.
I want to swim with a real dolphin. Like, not one in a cage that's trained to swim with you. I want to go out to the ocean here on Tybee, and I want to go find a dolphin to swim
As
with.
opposed to a fake dolphin.
I don't want to swim with a fake one. Give me the real thing.
It's just like this.
What's your thoughts on AI? Is it going to take over our jobs?
Nah.
I don't think so either.
It gets.
Someone told me the other day, they're like, you're in the video space, like AI is coming for your job, and I was like, no, I think AI is making our job a little easier though.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's
it will
taking it
never.
over.
Well, at least not in our lifetime. It's never gonna have like that ability to like think like a human would.
Yeah.
So I mean, like honestly, like all of these. I mean, we're out there on the field with cameras.
True.
What's AI gonna do?
True. Very true.
We get a creepy like robot human thing, and it's just walking around with them.
That'd be kind of sick though if you could put a
cool.
little chip into the balls, and then a camera just like follows it.
That would be really cool.
I'm sure that the technology's kind of out there, but still, then that takes away all the natural like motion.
Yeah. What do you think about AI? Same thing?
I don't know. I think it's a scary thing, but I don't think it's like I don't know enough about it to say that it's going to take over the world.
No, I don't think so. I remember learning a little bit about it, and I don't know. I've had some weird college classes, but one of them had a lot to do with AI.
Yeah.
And kind of like where it would take us. And like one of the things that they were dead serious about, they were like, you know what? We can see this having a place in real estate. And I was like,
AI in real estate?
Yeah. And they're not wrong. I mean,
no, yeah, definitely.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But like, I don't ever see it in a place where it's like taking over, especially like any sort of like powerful sort of position that would really make an impact.
Right.
Even everyday workers, like
I edit
that's not gonna...
some of these financial advisor videos, and one of the ones that I was editing, the guy was talking about at a conference they were just at that says AI is going to take over a bunch of their like jobs. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, I don't know about you. I'm not trusting a computer. I mean, computer's going to do a lot more for my money, maybe, but like, how does a computer know what the stock market's going to do? How does a human know what the stock market's going to do? But I don't know.
I'd just be like, man,
AI is crazy.
My condolences.
But like
to you,
making videos with AI is kind of fun. Like,
yeah,
you can make like different motions and stuff with AI tools and stuff.
Make different what?
Like motions.
Oh.
Like different like effects and stuff like that. And
I will say, and I keep on meaning to look this up and I haven't done it yet, but I think part of the most recent strike that we've seen in Hollywood wasn't just writing, but I think, or this could have been a separate one, but there was some sort of strike where they were like, hey, we don't want these production companies to have any sort of right over our like and image, because they were, I think, potentially thinking about using AI to keep putting them in movies even after contracts were over, they were gone or whatever. And that's like a more serious thing where it's like, okay, you're taking someone potentially after they're dead and gone, and you're putting them in movies because you own what they look like, what they sound like, stuff like that.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. And I mean,
I think that's gonna ruin movies, honestly. There's something about movies. It's like, wow, I can't believe they did that. Like back in the old like Fast and Furious days, whenever there'd be a ginormous fire scene or something, or the Indiana Jones scenes, or like like any of these like massive war scenes in these movies, they're all real to an extent. Now it's just gonna be like, oh, throw the CGI in there, let AI do its thing, and call it a day.
Yeah, it's like,
that's where I think it'll.
And you can almost always, when you're watching, you can almost always tell to an extent where it's just like, that's not real.
Right.
Like there's just always a difference
even
between
in like TV shows now, like a skyscraper where they're on the top of a skyscraper scene, maybe just on the top of a building. Like it's not even that dramatic of a scene. Yeah. It's all fake.
Well, you see how they do like I'm trying to think of a good example. Alice in Wonderland, the newer movies. It's all green screen. Little Mermaid, it was all green screen. And it's like, to be an actor in that, it's got to be way harder because you don't have anything to act off of, especially like when you're talking to these little like characters that aren't really there, which you have to put that in. Like that has to be like some sort of like green dummy or whatever where you're like looking at it. But it's like,
but the fact that your whole environment's just a green screen.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. You're just like, I mean, obviously.
That's got to take the fun out of like filming movies too.
Yeah.
Like you're just filming some person in a room. Like
I don't know.
that's gonna
When
be a lot less fun than seeing a car come flying past all the special effects and the fake fire.
When I took one of my theater classes that I did, we had a black box theater. So basically, seats are at like floor level, stage level with everyone, and then the whole room is painted black. And then for props and stuff, I mean, they went all out. We had black boxes. And so we would make all of our like makeshift furniture and stuff out of these boxes. Oh, cool. And so it was very much like same concept as like a green screen room. But it was kind of like, especially learning about different acting techniques and stuff, it was kind of helpful.
Yeah.
It's like a clean slate. So you're just like, this is a fridge. It's not a fridge, but this is a fridge.
Right.
And so you'd walk to it and then you'd be like, I'm getting food out of the fridge. And like, it was very helpful with just, I guess just movement.
Sure.
Because that's like a big thing in acting. Like moving intentionally is a big thing.
Right.
So I think, as long as you have some sort of foundation, it's not going to affect your performance.
Fair.
But you're right. It's not going to be more fun.
Yeah. Like, this is like, I would much rather act 10 years ago whenever you were actually just like in
or
a
before
really
then,
cool set.
Because they were still doing stuff like that.
Fair.
Yeah.
Like the new Netflix. Do you watch Squid Games?
No. Should I? Do you like it?
Squid Games the original is really graphic. If you don't like graphic.
I watched the Pacific, I think.
Fair enough. It's great. I love it. It's dubbed over, which I didn't think I'd like. I don't usually watch things
I have a hard time
over.
with stuff like that.
I do too. But I was addicted to the Squid Games.
Got past it.
And now they have the Squid Games reality show. And that's really cool because the sets are mostly all real. There's obviously CGI'd, like the bridge is obviously not 7,500 feet in the air.
Yeah.
But
I heard about that, and I can't be sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I found one of the contestants' profile somewhere by accident yesterday. And there was some sort of thing where he was like, is there a point where they like fall?
I know what clip you're talking about.
And
they fall through a bridge.
He said they had a stunt double for it.
Yeah.
And they got them in like a squat position, but then they had a stunt double.
Yeah.
That's weird to me for a reality show.
That's crazy because in the show, I would never have guessed.
No, you wouldn't.
At all.
That's
and
wild.
Mr. Beast did, I don't know if you know Mr. Beast.
I know who he is, yeah.
He did a Squid Game remake, and he had a bridge as well that would drop you if you, he did pretty much the same thing as Netflix, but in a 25-minute version instead of a 10-hour version or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he actually dropped his contestants. They signed a waiver, obviously. Yeah. But they dropped like 5 feet into a pit with a bunch of foam. Yeah. Like, I don't understand why Netflix couldn't have done that. But
that's interesting.
That made me rethink the whole show when I saw that TikTok. Mm-hmm. When he said that they had
well, especially because like for reality, you expect, I mean, obviously there's like manufactured drama and stuff like that. But like for something like that, you would expect the contestants to actually have to do it. Right. You know?
Like what's another sign on the dotted line saying you can't sue? Yeah. I don't understand it at all.
It's weird.
How can the stunt double not sue, but the contestant can?
Stunt doubles must have pretty like hectic looking contracts.
Maybe.
Because there's
what are they falling on? That's like, so you need a stunt double.
It's foam.
Obviously it's foam. Like so,
it's a crash pad.
What's the?
Yeah, it's weird. I understand like in some instances where, because I mean there have been multiple things that I've read where it's like, oh, the stunt double was fully paralyzed after this or whatever, and like, it's really sad.
I knew somebody who wanted to be a stunt double and went to school for it and everything. I think it might have been Amelia's brother. Really? He wanted to be a stunt double, but then he went to college instead.
Ooh, or something like that. I'll have to ask her about that. That's cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
But that's interesting.
I
would love to be on. We should both try to sign up for the Squid Game reality show.
Okay.
We'd have to leave for 4 months though, or 4 weeks.
You think our work would let us do that? Maybe in the prep season.
In the off season, maybe we could probably talk them into it.
Get all our work done.
If we finish logging all of our footage, can we go on Netflix?
Everything is completely done. This will be great. This will be great for the team.
It would be great for the team, that's for sure.
Good
especially
publicity.
if we made it far.
Can you imagine we get some of the players to do that?
That'd be so much fun.
That'd be really
500
cool.
people, like 460.
Whoa.
How many people were in Squid Games? 400.
I don't know.
50. I have no idea.
I don't either.
I forget.
Do you want to go to the next question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could we do one of the ones that we debate? Do you have those ones on you?
No. But
okay.
If you want to...
No, go to the next question.
Okay. In your opinion...
Yep.
What's a better name for corn dogs?
I don't like corn dogs at all, and every time I hear the word, I'm like, that's a stupid name. But it makes sense because it's surrounded... But it doesn't, because it's not surrounded by corn. Okay, you have an ear corn, right? Hollow out the inside, which I know the kernels would fall off, but they don't. Hollow out the inside, take that little core out, put a hot dog in it, corn dog.
What are corn dogs surrounded by? Cornbread? Is it cornbread?
Yeah.
Ew.
I know.
I've never had one.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would name it.
I need to pee so bad.
You
Could you tell?
you slowly got just more up in your seat. I'll hold down the fort. Bye. Bye, Ian.
You won't be
Okay. Let's see. If you found yourself trapped in an elevator, stacked floor to ceiling with one type of pastry, which pastry would you want it to be? I almost said marshmallow, but that's not a pastry. But it would have to be something soft, right? But also, like, it depends on what clothes I'm wearing. Because what if I'm wearing nice clothes and I don't want them to get, like, super dirty? Like, even croissant. Even those are going to get, like, a bunch of little breadcrumbs all over me, I would have to assume. Maybe eclairs? No, those are really messy. Why would I say eclairs? Maybe, okay. I wonder if you guys can hear that toilet flush. Maybe unglazed donuts.
That felt so good.
How are you so fast? Okay, back again. Welcome back, Ian.
Thank you. That was the greatest pee I've ever taken in my entire life.
Okay. Which fruit do you think would be most disappointed by the name we gave it? I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Orange. Orange would be so disappointed by the... Like, it's unoriginal.
So basic. It's orange.
Do you think...
What about when an orange is not fully ripe yet? Is it still orange?
Or is it green? Did they start greenish?
Or is it tan?
Tan. They're not tan.
That's tan.
That's tan. I think
is that why tangerines were tangerines?
Aren't they green oranges before they're orange? Don't they start kind of green and then turn orange?
I have no idea. They grow on trees. That's about all I know. I don't live in Florida. I've never lived in Florida. That's where they grow them, right? In Florida?
Yes. How much of your energy drink have you had?
I finished it. It says legendary energy, epic focus, 0 sugars, and no artificial colors. And it's gone straight to my brain.
I think, no, but like, this is a dumb question.
Hit me.
But have you ever thought about, like, did oranges or the color orange get named first?
That's a great question.
It's like the chicken or the egg, but just like...
It's got to be the orange, the fruit, right? Because everyone's like, that's an orange. And then they were like, what's that color? And it's like, well, it's an orange. But
on the other side of things, they'd be like, oh, look, that right there, that's orange. Cool. Or maybe like... And then they're like, that round, tasty fruit, also orange. We should just name it that.
That's a great point.
You ever think about...
How did they get green?
Sometimes I like to think, this is my theory.
Uh-huh.
So they're growing, right? Mm-hmm. And from the time they're this tiny, all the way to however big oranges get, there's different types. They're always orange. But my theory is there's like a Jack Frost kind of figure, but it's not Jack Frost. It's like Jack Green, and he comes by with a paintbrush. And he just paints all of them green, so we all think.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about oranges.
What? You said like, I'm lost. Huh?
All right, so.
All right, I'm back. Focused. Now I'm following.
Reset. Okay. So oranges.
Yeah.
From the time they're from the little flower.
Yeah.
Because fruits flower. That's why tomatoes are fruits. Because they have flowers.
Fruits flower?
They start as a flower.
Okay. So grapes start as flowers? So technically, if grapes are flowers, does that mean wine is a flower?
I'm not saying they're flowers. I'm saying...
Wine is flowers.
I'm saying they start as flowers. We'll get onto that stuff. Okay. Do you ever get grossed out about how people just crush grapes with their feet to make wine?
Yeah. Do you ever see the grape video? Grape lady falls. Ow, 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 ow.
I hope she's doing okay.
Oh, I hope that she's getting compensation for that.
That's humiliating.
Like, imagine everybody in the entire world knows who you are because of an embarrassing video, and you haven't got a cent for it. But that video,
It's a
I can
good
only
one.
imagine how much AdSense that thing's bringing in.
Me sitting at home on my computer, 12 years old,
Oh,
watching. Those
watching
are the
Great
kind
Lady
of.
Falls.
Well, I watch that, and then sometimes I would watch plastic surgery.
Those are two completely different things. What are you talking about? Sometimes I watch memes on my YouTube channel, and then I watch plastic surgeons.
I wanted to listen. I wanted to know how, like, you know, facelifts and stuff worked. So like.
Those are the two things you'd watch? Either Great Lady Falls or plastic surgery?
No, you remember those maze videos where it's like get close to the screen and like,
And then the scary
and then
face
the
pops up.
scary lady would pop up.
You ever see the one where the car is driving through the
Yup.
countryside and BAM!
Just like it's just like stamped into
Oh,
my
it's so
memory
good.
forever. But no, like I would. It's weird what you can do with face skin.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear about it? Then we'll get back to the Jack Green thing. We got to circle back to that.
Yeah, right.
But basically, I would just say to myself, Katelyn, you should see if there's surgery videos on YouTube to
Okay.
see what crops up.
Sure, why not?
A lot of things actually
Yeah.
crop up. Have you ever seen an amputation? Wild.
You Google that? You watched a YouTube video on an amputation?
Yeah, I saw this whole.
That's insane.
This whole guy's leg just from the. Actually, it wasn't the whole leg. It was like from the ankle, I guess.
Oh, that's better.
They are not gentle.
Oh, I believe it.
It was just like
I don't think you can be gentle.
he's
You're
just
like,
yanking on that thing.
Oh,
It was
my.
wild.
but he's asleep, I assume.
I'd hope so. I would hope so.
Oh man, my leg. Oh, I can't feel it anymore. We're good.
Jeez. But no, also like I would watch these like the facelift things.
Yeah.
They get under there and then kind of like flap the skin a little bit, like loosen up the face and just like stretch it.
That's insane.
Isn't that just crazy?
That's absurd.
And then sometimes I'd get those weird like I used to watch this in my grandma's house in the basement, the I Shouldn't Be Alive videos. Have you ever seen those?
That's depressing.
No, but they basically it's these people who went through like these really scary things that probably
Oh.
should have killed them, but they lived.
That's fun.
They're fine.
My uncle was in a plane crash. It landed in the Hudson River.
Did he live?
He did. All of them lived.
Perfect. All of them.
Yeah. There was 150 people on the plane.
Is that movie with Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Is he? Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's wild.
That's really cool.
What a great guy.
I hope someday. I hope someday I have a story like that.
I don't.
We travel enough.
I hope one day I can jump into a plane crash and survive.
Typically, well, maybe not a plane crash, but usually we get seated toward the back, and that's
True.
the safest place to be.
Fair. Unless the whole plane just goes up in flames.
We're just gonna hope that doesn't happen.
Fair. That's fair.
We are gonna sail through the Bermuda
I have
Triangle.
thought about it
so
multiple times. It's like, why don't... This is dumb, but like... Could you theoretically get the door open and jump and then just hope that you survive the fall? If the plane's going down anyway.
At what height would you do that?
I don't know, but I've seen a video where a skydiver fell out... the parachute didn't open.
Yeah.
She landed on the ground, broke every bone in her body, but survived.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it on TikTok.
I didn't. Probably YouTube for
It
me.
was like a documentary that some guy stole and put on TikTok.
Happens.
That's how I watch a lot of my little clips like
Honestly, like most of the stuff that I see on Reels now has been from any platform but Instagram,
Yeah.
pretty much. Back to Jack Green.
that. Yes, back to Jack Green.
So basically, oranges start as a wee little blossom.
Okay.
And then they look like a perfect orange from the time they emerge from that blossom.
Okay.
Or by the time that blossom becomes the orange. Whatever.
Okay.
So basically, orange, it's bright orange.
Yeah.
From this big to like that big.
Yeah.
Or however big it is. But Mother Nature doesn't want us to know too many of her secrets.
Of course.
So she employs this guy named Jack Green. Do you know who Jack Frost is?
I do.
He's the guy that paints around with ice and
Yeah,
stuff.
of course.
This is his brother.
Gotcha.
This is his
Jack Green.
Mother Nature, their mom.
Mm-hmm.
And family tree branches like this. I don't know who the dad is. Maybe like Zeus or something.
Okay.
From like Greek mythology or whatever that is.
Why not?
It doesn't really matter. But anyway, or she's a single mom, you know?
Hey.
Who works too hard, who loves her kids.
What a great show.
But anyway, he goes around. She's employed him.
Yeah.
It's on family business. He gets paid like a nickel for every orange he paints. So Florida, that's his bread and butter.
Yeah.
He makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a day just going around painting. He uses biodegradable green paint because, you know, you don't want to.
No, of course. Don't kill the grass that he already painted.
Yeah, exactly. And eventually it'll wash off.
Sure.
The orange will stretch out of it. But she just likes us to think that they start green. And so, in the early days, and, when they reach full maturity or about the halfway point, they get a brighter and brighter orange because they're stretching out the green.
Sure.
And then, Jack Green's job, done.
Done.
It's weird that she named both of her kids Jack, now that I think about it. But one is spelled normally, like J-A.
What if it's Jill Green?
You think it's a girl?
Jill Green.
Oh, it could be.
And then Jack and Jill.
Went up the hill. Fetch a pail of water.
Which then creates the plants.
And then they use the same water to wash it off. No, the rain does that. But maybe it's
the rain that was from that pail went back up into the clouds and then down and washed it off. So technically, Jack and Jill got rid of the paint that Jill Green put on the orange, which means Jack and Jill created the orange after they fetched a pail of water.
They're the creators of the orange plant.
If you're still watching, I don't know why.
but basically, like that's how oranges kind of become what they are. And Jack Frost gets a little jealous because Jack Green is kind of like feeding the people.
Of course, fair
Jack
enough.
Frost really just brings about coldness and famine, and it's just. I mean, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
He never really visits Savannah though, so maybe I'm not a fan. I'm not sure.
Oh man,
it's just crazy, right? You know what he uses for his to make his paintbrush?
What?
He actually very carefully collects the thin layer of hair on pigs.
Oh.
Uses the bristles and puts them into the little brush tip.
We are so far in our imagination right now.
Should I go to the next question?
Yeah. I also have one.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Like it was a debate topic.
Oh, pull it up, and then we'll do another one of mine that I'm really excited for.
Is cereal a soup? It's the only one I have.
What side of this do you want to take?
I'm going to take
Ian?
the opposite side of you. You decide.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to say I'll go. Yeah, it is a soup.
Okay. Hit me. How?
So basically, soup is just. I'm no chef.
Oh. I mean.
But I have seen many reality shows that included Gordon Ramsay. So
sure.
I feel like I know a thing. His daughter's TikTok comes up on my feed.
I mean,
sometimes.
I've watched Chopped more times than I could.
Chopped is a solid show.
Chopped.
I really, most of the time, I just like kind of go to the end.
And
I just see. Of Chopped?
You just skip to the end of Chopped?
Absolutely, I will.
See who won?
I want to know who won.
That's crazy. You don't even know what they made?
Well, I'll watch their final dish.
You have to see how they made it.
Not really.
It's the whole how do you know which one you want to win?
You know what show I think I would watch all the way through? The Great British Baking Challenge.
What's the difference?
It's funnier.
Because they talk in British accents.
When they have the comedians on.
Yeah.
Which the more I think about it, that may have only been one episode, but those are the clips that I get. And there's this guy named James Acaster, funny dude.
Yeah.
And he just had apparently he did not have a good time on the show. Like, he genuinely was not having a good time, but it just came off as really funny. So I feel bad laughing, but at the same time, funny stuff.
There's one kid on Squid Games that had a terrible time. Everyone made fun of him. Everyone hated him, but he was just this nerd.
Aww.
And I felt so bad for him, but at the same time, he brought it on himself. But the show made him look so bad.
For being a nerd? Is that what you're saying?
He just, he would not make the right decisions on anything. And then he would cry, and then he'd throw up because he was nervous. And then,
he'd throw up?
He would be gagging. Netflix made him look terrible in the show. It was actually really mean, but anyway.
Okay, cereal and soup.
Cereal and soup. Yeah.
Basically, I think soup has varying levels of components that you want to add, but basically all of them have to start with some sort of liquid base, right?
Right.
For cereal, that is milk, or if you're a crazy person, water.
Right.
And people have done. I know people.
No one does that.
Yes.
No one puts water in cereal.
Yeah, they do.
No.
Who? People.
Do you?
No.
Have you ever done it?
Yeah.
You put water in cereal?
No, I watered down milk so I could have cereal because I didn't have enough milk. But I would never do it again.
That's insane.
I wouldn't do it again.
I would just eat it dry before I'd ever do that.
Nah. It wasn't the kind of cereal you want to eat dried. Cut up your mouth.
What was it?
It wasn't good cereal. It was like health cereal. I didn't buy it.
That's
but
fair.
I needed some sort of fuel in me, and it was that. So,
have you ever put Pepsi in cereal?
I've seen people do orange Fanta.
It's disgusting.
Somebody did Mountain Dew.
Disgusting.
You believe that more than water?
No, it's all disgusting.
It is all disgusting.
I mean, I would put water before I'd put Mountain Dew in my cereal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How many more grams of sugar do you need?
No, you're right.
Jeez.
Some drinks have way more. I've seen like the charts where it's like one energy drink like this is equated to like 6 donuts, I'd be like,
on that McDonald's show that they showed in health class. What'd they call that?
Wait.
I brought it up and Josh mentioned it the other day whenever I said it, but I can't remember the name of it.
In health class?
Yeah.
Wait.
The McDonald's show.
Was it did McDonald's produce it?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Or I don't know if they produced it, but it was all about how McDonald's was making people fat.
There's this guy. I don't think McDonald's would what
They probably didn't produce that.
Yeah. We watched that in like my 8th grade health class.
Yeah.
This guy ate it like every day for whatever.
That's what it was.
He started a
Yeah.
So that's like a national thing,
terrible
huh?
for him.
Yeah, not good.
No, not at all. I think it was one of those things where like my teacher put it on specifically when the Masters was on so that he could go to his computer and watch the Masters.
Yeah. Our health class teacher should not have been. He just some kids would ask pretty awkward questions and he didn't want to answer them.
Really? I feel like that's his job. That's the only reason he's there.
It was. And then one time, and I feel like I can say this because I don't even know who this girl is anymore. So I'm not exposing her. But we watched this one where it was just like, I think just like what happens to you if you break an arm or break something. And it kind of shows like how that stuff, it was like a big conglomerate of like everything you could think of in one health class.
Sure.
And this girl broke her arm. It's a completely fake graphic of like blood cells going to the area or whatever. Right. I don't remember. She fainted. And I was interested, and he made me take her to the nurse. And I was like, dude, of course I will.
Of course.
Because she just fainted onto the ground.
Sure. Not going to leave her.
I want to see what happens to this girl's arm.
You're probably the only kid in there that cared.
Probably.
And he made
I put headphones on for a lot of the stuff I didn't want to listen to.
Really?
Yep.
What did he say anything about it?
Nope.
You just put headphones on and didn't want to listen?
Put headphones on, drew a little bit. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
That's crazy.
They were like educational videos. He's not talking. That would be disrespectful of me. I wouldn't put headphones on if he was the one talking about it. But I was just like, nah.
Headphones on.
I'll pass. And I did.
Wow. Okay.
Looked up one time, saw something, was like, nah, gonna look right back. Gonna look right back down. Oh. But anyway.
All right. Do you heat up your cereal?
What?
Do you heat your cereal up?
No. Is that your soup thing that you're saying?
Then it can't be a soup.
No, it can be.
Do you ever eat soup cold?
There are cold soups.
Name one.
Split pea soup, I think, is supposed to be eaten cold.
Would you eat it cold?
No. Well, I wouldn't eat it at all.
Okay, then. Doesn't count.
But people eat soup cold. Like, if I typed in cold soups right now, I could get a full list for you.
Now, soup is something you eat whenever you're sick.
Yeah, but I eat it sometimes if I have nothing else in my house.
Do you eat cereal when you're sick?
Yeah.
Do you?
I do.
I don't believe you.
I do. I have the exact... I'm not really a good example because, as we discussed in the last podcast, I pretty much have the exact same breakfast like every day. And
what do you have?
Granola and yogurt.
I need to start eating breakfast. I don't eat breakfast. You should.
Look, 16 refreshingly cold soup recipes by Food and Wine. There's a lot. Ew,
by Food and Wine.
It's like a prestigious looking site.
See, that's...
Is gazpacho served cold?
Never heard of it.
And it says yes.
Yes. Oh, shoot.
Why is cold soup good?
I'm making a bunch of crackling noises on my mic.
Aw, come on.
So sorry, everybody.
It says on this Google question for the people.
But it doesn't say cereal.
It says when you eat cold soup, your body gets a supply of vitamins, minerals, and liquid at the same time. Now, let me take that back to cereal. Cereal is fortified with many vitamins. So unhealthy Americans like us.
You think Fruit Loops has vitamins in it?
I do think it does.
Does it?
They started putting, I don't remember.
Does soup have vitamins in it?
Well, it depends on what you put in your soup. But yeah, vegetables in the soup definitely will. Meat in the soup, yeah, you get your B vitamins. Essential for humans. Vegans have to take B-like vitamins all the time because you really just get it from like animal sources. But your brain loves the B vitamins. You got to have them. B12, I think, is like one of the main ones. But back in the day, a lot of these babies were being born. There's a point to this.
Yeah.
Where they had this weird, I can't remember exactly what the defect was, but I think it had to do with their spine. I could be wrong. It was either that or like something was open that shouldn't have been open when they were born. They're like, this is so weird. We don't know why this is happening. And it was apparently a folate deficiency in all these pregnant women. So they started fortifying cereal with it, and it solved the problem. A lot of foods are fortified with vitamins.
Interesting.
So even like some stuff, it's kind of just like they'll give you a surplus of it. Your body can only absorb so much anyway.
Yeah.
But they just want to make sure you get your full. Actually, like when it comes to meat and stuff, really a serving size of meat is what, like 3.5 ounces, 4 ounces, which is really the size of a stack.
4 ounces of meat is the serving size?
3.5 or 4, I think.
Really?
So it's just, I think depending on the kind of meat, but.
Interesting. So if you have a steak, you're technically, if you get an 8-ounce steak, you're having 2 servings of steak?
Yeah. So a deck of cards is the size of meat that is considered a serving size.
Really?
Yeah. That's what I learned in my nutrition class.
That's crazy.
So a deck of cards. So really, when you think about protein, that's a lot of protein. So when you're eating a normal serving size that most people would eat,
it's like 2 sizes.
I think meat is supposed to just take up like 1/4 or 1/3 of your plate, and then half of it's supposed to be vegetables, and then you have like a starch or a grain or whatever.
I kind of want a nutritionist. I think somebody to like be like, you're not getting this, you're not getting this, you're getting too much of this.
Yeah,
would be so nice. Or
I
like,
take
Ian, stop eating McDonald's.
Just
somebody to tell me that.
I took nutrition classes, and I took one class that was meant for people who wanted to be dietitians. So it's like, I think it's more like
that'd be cool too.
It's more like a hospital setting.
Yeah.
So like you end up helping people with like health problems and stuff like that.
That'd be cool.
Like through food, but it was an awful class because I was not at that level yet.
Fair.
So it was like, hey, this baby is first of all overweight, and its parents aren't feeding it right, and it has all these health problems, and it's taking this formula. I remember searching a ton of baby websites trying to figure out what the heck was in this formula because I couldn't find it anywhere. And I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then I had to diagnose this kid with something. I was like, this is way beyond my scope of knowledge.
Yeah.
But anyway, cereal, fortified with vitamins and stuff. So that also kind of, if that's how you're defining soup, I would put it into that category. Any other arguments from your side?
I don't. I've been sitting here trying to think of an argument, but I just don't have one. I think it's a soup as well. Cereal is soup, everybody.
Perfect.
You heard it here first.
Okay, so you just became a member of the Spice Girls.
Oh.
What spice name do you make up for yourself?
Oh, man. I was going to say Melly B. And then I was like, wait a minute.
We know
that's
Melly
your
B.
roommate. Have we mentioned that Melly B is her roommate yet tonight?
Third time's the charm. There's going to be a text on this next episode.
You first. I have no idea.
I think I'd do
feel like
something.
I'd never join the Spice Girls.
Maybe like smoked paprika.
Oh. Paprika.
Or
smoked paprika. That's good.
Cardamom.
Cardamom?
Cardamom?
Cardamom? What made you think of cardamom?
I was just thinking of spices.
Oh.
Allspice.
That's why I said paprika. I used paprika to make potatoes last night.
I put paprika on my rice today because it had no seasoning and I was in a rush to eat.
Paprika's good.
It's really good. It's good on popcorn. Smoked paprika, good on popcorn.
That'd be good.
Little tip of the trade.
One of the things I'm excited for this cruise about is to try all these like different foods and try to come up with a bunch of new like ideas for food.
Honestly, I think it's gonna help me too.
Yeah.
When I went on the cruise with my friend way back in the day, 9th grade. We had like a sit down dinner every night. It was like one of the fancier ones where they come out, serve you. They give you like 2 options for each thing.
Oh, that's cool.
And one time I was like, because they always gave you dessert, and I was like, do you need to check the cameras or something? You look finicky.
I do need to check the cameras, but not yet.
Okay. You got to go to the bathroom again?
No.
Okay.
Well, no.
Okay.
We still have 10 minutes.
Perfect. But there is this option between like a chocolate something and then some sort of like, I just knew it was supposed to be like strawberry or something flavored, and I was like, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
Ordered it. It ended up being this weird gelatinous
gelatinous?
Like jello-y, but it wasn't jello. I don't know what it was.
Okay.
I took my plate and I did that, and I was like, I don't like the way it moves, and I was so sad. Oh. There was really no point to that story. The more I think about it.
I think not the next episode, because we will be on the cruise. Not this episode, but the next episode.
Yep.
We will be currently on the cruise. I think we're going to try to bang 1, maybe 2 episodes out on the cruise.
Yeah.
I think we're going to try to find a deck on the cruise that has like a really cool view of like behind the boat and film a couple or like the water, I should say.
Whether it's we're going to pick up wind noises with these things.
We might.
We should get some dead cats over them.
We will need to do that probably, yeah.
Not real dead cats. Wait.
We're going to go kill some cats and put them on our microphones.
It's
I'm sure customs will love that.
It's a fluffy little cover.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they're called dead cats. They look more like raccoon tails, if you ask me.
I have no idea.
They're gray, fluffy.
I feel like dead cat because it's like a cat's fluffy and then it doesn't move.
I guess so.
Anyway, those 2 episodes will be on the cruise. And then that'll be after Christmas, which is crazy.
I have a couple more questions.
Should we do it?
Yeah.
I gotta do this one.
Okay.
Reset this.
So that was our last little break, right?
Yes. Last little break.
Okay. So I want to get a really weird question because some of the weirdest ones on this list, I think whoever wrote this list on BuzzFeed was like, we should save these for the end.
Right.
For the people who are really interested in making new friends with these conversation starters. What about, we'll start with one that's not as strange. What number do you find the least trustworthy?
13. Do you know 13's not in a hotel? You can't pick floor 13 in a hotel.
Yeah. Are there some
that's
hotels
crazy to
that
me.
have a floor 13, or is it just a...
There might be.
There's got to be, but generally no.
Generally, no. My dad was in a hotel once, and this kid came walking into the elevator, and the kid was like 5.
Yeah.
And he was like at that stage where it's like, I need to click all the buttons for everybody in the elevator.
Yeah.
And he's like, what floor you need? And my dad's like, 13. And the kid goes. And he starts looking for it, and then he looks so confused, looks back at his mom, looks back at it again, and my dad said he just lost it. He thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Did the mom do anything? She just
No,
let it go.
She laughed.
That's funny.
Yeah, she thought it was so funny.
I forget about that sometimes.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't think 13 is I don't like the number 6 too much.
Why?
I don't know.
Just don't
It's
like
weird.
6?
It's like a faker of a 9. Just
Or a
9
9's
flipped
a
upside
faker
down.
of a 6.
I trust 9 more.
Why?
On my alarms, I use 9 more than I use 6, I think.
Why would you use either?
Oh, my alarms are fun. Hang on. I'll show you all of them right now. I have 11 because of that one incident that I had where
One day. We should talk about this real quick.
I had a literally so important meeting. I never sleep in. I never
One of the biggest
oversleep.
meetings of the year for her.
Yeah, a 3-hour idea fest, a palooza, if you will. And I was like, I'm going to wake up at 6. I'm going to like refine all of my ideas, get them like set for the day. And then I wake up to two of my coworkers and friends screaming my name outside the house. And I was like, I woke up in a panic.
Oh, I bet.
I knew exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I looked at the time, freaked out, ran to the front door in my pajamas. I see Amelia and Anna Kate standing there, and I'm like, hand over the mouth. I probably looked like a deer in the headlights.
What time was it?
And I almost closed the door on them by accident. It was like 11:30. 11 or 11:30.
What time did the meeting start? 9?
9 or 10.
I think it started at 9.
Maybe,
I think
because
it
it
was
was
a 9 to
a
like-
3-hour meeting, and I got in at, well,
Maybe it
10,
was
11. Yeah.
Still.
Maybe
We
it
start
was
work
10.
at 9.
We start work at 9. And I've never done that. In my life, I've never done that. Ever. I don't know what happened.
I was
to me.
off that day because it was the day before we left for Thanksgiving. And
Yeah.
I was flying home that day. And I was sitting in the airport, and I got a text on my phone in our big like Teams message.
I caused a panic.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, it was only like 10:30, 11
Yeah.
o'clock. And the message was like, has anyone seen Katelyn? And I was like, well, she doesn't come in till 10 because she's usually working the first hour at home.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was like, well, I'll just tell them that she's probably logging.
Yeah.
But then I was like, no, they're in the office. They know that she's logging. It's probably something more than that. And then I put my phone away and didn't think about it. And then that night, I got a text from Amelia, and she said, we thought Katelyn died today. And I was like, why?
No, they
And
did.
then she told me, I was like, that's insane because she had that massive meeting today.
I woke up to a wellness check.
Yeah, you did.
Literally, a wellness check.
Literally.
And like,
They said they were outside your house for 5 minutes begging on it until you finally answered it.
it's weird to me because that's obviously from outside of the house much quieter than any of my alarms.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that's what I woke up to.
Well, you hear that and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Like,
It was like,
that
my
throws
alarms
you.
usually don't scream my name like that.
You're used to the alarm.
Yeah. But like I had never felt so bad in my whole life.
Yeah.
I woke up to a million messages, a bunch of calls. Yvonne, like at first he said, hey, you're late. And then I think after a little bit, he sent me a voicemail, and I was like, he was like, we're getting kind of worried. And I was like, I felt so bad.
Complete.
I felt so, Melissa was texting me.
Yeah.
My roommate, 4th
Why
time,
did she
everyone.
come home? Oh, because
She wasn't home.
there.
She already went to New
That's
Jersey.
right.
So anyway, it caused this huge panic. And then on the way to work, I was just thinking, I have to prepare myself to get yelled at. Like I need to prepare myself. I need to be calm, cool, collected. I need to stay like a stoic little statue, and I'm gonna take whatever hit I need to take.
Right.
And I got in. Everybody was like, "Your bagel's over there," and I was like, "What?"
My bagel's over there.
Because Kara ordered us breakfast because it was such a long meeting, and then I was just like, "No one's gonna yell at me." And I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I texted Yvonne before. I was like, I can't apologize enough. I feel terrible about this. Like, especially on a day like this where it's not, we're not just in the office. We're having a meeting that is going to define a lot of the stuff that we want to do, like, next year, all this kind of stuff. So, anyway, I was just like, this is, like, so bad. Nobody yelled at me. Because and honestly, part of me was like, this feels worse. Because I would have rather, like, taken a hit and instead of
it's
just
almost
being
like the disappointed parent feeling where it's like, just yell at me, get it over with.
Yeah, I had already prepped myself for it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm ready. Come at me.
Right.
They're like, you have any ideas? We're sure you have ideas. And I was like, yeah. I do. You want you sure? And then I got called over later, and I thought for sure that I was going to get, like, later in the office, and I thought for sure something bad was going to happen to me then, and I was just like, it's okay, because we already prepped for this. We already prepped for it. We're going to be fine.
Straight back into that mood.
Yeah, and then I was just help on another video, and I was like, oh, so nothing's coming toward me at all. So anyway, from that point on, instead of my usual 6 or 7 alarms, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Good. Are they all different sounds?
There's this one that I don't remember setting. It sounds like bubbles. It's the weirdest. It is odd. I've
only come in to work once late this year so far.
But, like, I was, like, not as late as what I did. I think that's, like, the worst offense. Like, even if it was, like, an hour, I feel like I just would have felt better about the whole thing.
Right.
So
I feel like people would have been more, they would have hit you harder if it was only an hour.
I think
they would have.
Yeah.
They would have made no one's gonna get mad at you, but it would have been like they would have poked little jab remarks.
I felt so bad.
But I think everyone legitimately thought maybe you were dead.
No, I think they did.
Yeah.
Like, I think Amelia was like, we were scared.
The only reason they sent a wellness check to your house.
Yeah.
was because they thought you were dead.
Yeah, that's just like, well, it's just because I've been here for almost 2 years and I've never done that.
And I was thinking about it today in the car for some reason. I was like, I think this whole situation I was thinking about for some reason. And I was like, if they had shown up to your house and your car wasn't there, that would have been so much worse.
Honestly,
because then, like, where is she?
Where is Katelyn?
And if she's not at work now, she's not answering her phone, then something legitimately happened.
It's probably good that, but also apparently, like, seeing my car there, knowing I was home was also scary because all the lights in the house were off.
Yeah, they said that was scary, and I was like, well, that's a lot better than her car not being there.
I think the biggest thing, the reason why I felt so bad, honestly, not even so much like, I mean, obviously, yes, missing the meeting, but also just because I sent everyone into such a big panic. I was like, I never want anyone to feel like this again. I felt so bad. I'm not.
The last time I did that, I was laying in bed, and Chris Sachi called me.
I remember that. We were all listening.
Were you? Yeah. Really? He told me he was in the kitchen.
I don't think so. I think.
Wow, he lied to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hate to drive a wedge between you two.
Wow, Chris Sachi.
No, I'm pretty sure he was in the room.
He calls me, and as soon as I see his name, I know I messed up. And I look at my phone, and it's 9:30. I'm 30 minutes late.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang it. And I pick up the phone, and he goes, hey, man. How you doing?
I definitely heard this conversation.
I was like, I'm good, bro. How are you? He's like, where you at? And I was like, oh, I am finishing a video at home. I panicked.
Yeah.
I was like, what do I say?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm finishing a video. He goes, oh, yeah? I'm like, yep. I was like, I'm on my way in. He goes, sounds good, bro. We'll see you soon. Hung up the phone. And I was like, dang. I completely just lied to him. So I then texted him and was like, hey, man. I slept in. He's like, sounds good. We'll see you soon.
See, like, I feel like if I had my cute little Apple Watch on during the whole ordeal with me, I feel like my heart rate would have been...
That would have been cool to see.
Peaking the whole time. One time I got a Teams message, not even a big... It was just like, hey, we need this. And for some reason, that peaked my heart rate.
Really?
It went up to, like, freaking 170. I was like, what is wrong with...
Jeez, that's like running heart rate.
I was like, what is wrong with me?
My stress.
And then it went back down. I was like, all right, cool.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But my alarms, the one that is, like, the official, like, wake-up alarm that you have to set, they have to be on, like, multiples of 5, which is sad. So it's 7:25. But then the other ones... 6:18, 6:24, 6:27, 6:33.
Oh, I know what you're talking
6:42, 6:48, 7:08, 7:32.
Why are you getting up that early?
7:59, 8:12.
Do you always snooze it until 8:12?
Is the final alarm. No. It just depends.
I snooze until my last one.
Some days when I do that, I try not to do it to the last one because then most of the time, if I'm turning any of these off, I will not remember it. Like, I know that I had to have done it, but I don't remember any of it. So I get to the last 2, I don't remember the first 9, like, at all.
Yeah.
Like, they're just, like, part of the dream at that point.
Right.
And so, like, this morning, I snoozed it until probably around, it's like 7:30-ish, maybe, where I was just kind of, like, laying in my bed and just, like, which is, like, usually I would like to be up before then. I need time to wake up in the morning.
What gets me is I do the same thing, but then I snooze all of them. I don't stop them all.
I snooze mine too.
By the time 8 o'clock rolls around, it's a freaking circus in my room, and it's ticking me off. I'm like, all right, I gotta get up.
Half the time, I walk across the house, go brush my teeth in the bathroom, whatever, hear it across the house. I'm like, shoot.
Yeah, right.
I thought I turned it off.
That's the worst feeling, too, because then you're like, my roommate's gonna hear that one.
Oh, Melissa, she hears mine better than I hear mine.
Yeah. That's
but
Which
number
is crazy,
I find...
because she's a deep sleeper, too.
She is.
Yeah.
But she's a deep sleeper, I think, for like a limited time because her body will she'll naturally wake up.
Yeah.
I wish mine did that, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I do too.
But anyway, number I find the least trustworthy, probably 6.
Nice.
I don't know. It's just like...
I get it.
I don't care for it too much. Yeah. Should we do one more?
Yeah, one more question.
And then wrap it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. I want to get one that's like drastically different from that last one. There was when you went to the bathroom, there was a pastry question that I started to answer, but then I just blanked on types of pastries. So it was like, and this isn't one that
keep it in?
This isn't the one, maybe. I did keep talking, which was better than the last time you left.
Amazing.
Where I kept talking, but there was no real substance to what I was saying.
Right.
But it was basically like you're shoved in an elevator and there's a pastry floor to ceiling. Like, what pastry would it be? And I was just thinking of cleanliness, really. It's just like, what pastry wouldn't get me so dirty? And then I landed on unglazed donuts.
Interesting.
Because
one of my biggest fears when I was a kid was getting trapped in an elevator in a parking garage.
Specifically in a parking garage?
I was terrified of parking garages and elevators when I was a kid.
Parking garages are kind of scary.
They're terrifying. Yeah. And my dad was paying the ticket in the little... you had to walk to pay the ticket at this point for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still a thing, where you can pay it before you go back to your car. But I was in the car.
There's a few like that, where they have like the kiosk thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I was like, I cannot sit in this car anymore because I cannot stand parking garages and I'm terrified.
Yeah.
So I ran out and a car almost hit me. And he blared his horn at me. And my dad's like, what are you doing? I was like, I was scared and I almost got nailed by a car.
Can you imagine? Man, no, there have been some close calls, especially in like college parking garages where people are just flying through those things.
Right.
I was in the car with my friend one time. She almost hit a girl. I was like, what are we doing?
What are we doing here?
You cannot be going that fast through this garage. There's people walking here.
I'm
okay.
walking here.
Maybe we'll do, because we can save some of these for our next one. We'll say, how many, I don't want to do that one. I want to save it. Okay. Should we do another pastry one?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's end it off.
Which pastry should we shoot into space as a peace offering to hostile civilizations?
We could shoot Pop-Tarts off and I wouldn't be disappointed about it. Never see it again.
But do you think that would like keep the peace between us and alien life forms that definitely...
I think enough people like Pop-Tarts to the point where aliens would like them.
Yeah.
But I could live without them.
So would you do you put yours in the toaster?
No. Maybe that's why I don't like them as much.
I like cold things, typically.
I do too.
I'm not like a huge,
Although whatever's inside those Pop-Tarts would be really good heated up. And I've never tried it.
Probably.
I got an air fryer.
No way.
Yeah. My parents sent it to me for a housewarming gift.
That was your housewarming gift.
Yeah. That's what it was.
That's fun.
It's so nice.
That's really nice.
I've made things in it every night since I've gotten it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like
it's
what?
so fast. It's so clean. There's no oil.
It is nice.
It's like...
I want to
make
fries. Melissa has one.
Oh,
I want to put
fries are so good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I should try that.
Yeah.
That's really
They're
exciting.
not greasy at all. They're crispy.
The ones in the oven,
like,
unless you're very careful about how you're flipping those things, you're always going to have a little bit of like sogginess to it.
I agree.
Just don't like it.
I agree. I like them crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should try more. Because she taught me how to make chicken in it the other night.
So good.
Really good.
Do you guys have an air fryer?
Mm-hmm. Melissa brought one. I've never had one. I have like a...
Do you use hers? A lot? Yeah.
Yeah, I use it more than I use the oven because I'm just cooking for myself. If I was making like big batches, it's much faster. Yeah. And you just get like a more even cook. But they have ovens now with air fryers like built into it.
I have seen that.
Yeah. My mom wants one.
Our last toaster oven was also an air fryer, but it was so disgusting.
Mine, because I had a toaster oven that I used in college because we didn't have like an oven.
Yeah.
Well, we had one, but it just did not work.
Yeah. Fair.
So I brought like a pretty decent sized toaster oven to college with me, and technically I think it had that. I think it doubled as like a convection oven maybe. It did not work though.
I had a convection oven in my house when I lived with my parents, and I liked that a lot. I used that a lot.
See, my grandma has one and she uses it a lot and she likes it, but
Still takes a long time though.
My mom they have a new oven now, but like I caught our oven on fire. We couldn't use it anymore.
That's crazy.
So I think she was considering getting that at one point.
Yeah.
And then she's like, nah, we'll just go with the classic oven. It wasn't my fault. I feel like I should explain myself.
Yeah. Explain that story and then we'll cap this podcast.
So basically, I got up in the morning and I was like, I'm going to stray from my typical breakfast, which I never do, ever. But in this particular instance.
How old are you?
I have a feeling I was in college.
Oh, boy. This is more recent than not.
Yeah. Or maybe it was like no, I have a feeling I was either like there that summer and I was vibing at home because I may have been living in Athens at the time.
Yeah.
So maybe it was like hey, I'm home for 2 months.
Right.
So maybe something like that. But all I know is I was in my parents' house and walking around. It's early morning. No one else is awake yet. It's just me. And I was like, I'm going to try those pancake muffins that some people cook in the oven because that seems like a fun time. And I had like the simple like Kodiak's cake mix. And I had blueberries. I put some blueberries in some, put some chocolate chips in some. And I was like, this is going to be awesome. And one thing I never do because I'm impatient, I don't preheat ovens ever.
Whoa. What's cracked there? Sound like a whale.
First you have hiccups.
Yeah, really. Losing my voice here.
But anyway, if I got hiccups, we'd be done for. Because the last time I had them was and I hadn't had them since I was tiny. And like Melissa and I are driving home from when we went to Florida.
Yeah. And
we're driving home and we have like maybe an hour left in our drive. I hiccuped all the way home.
That's awful.
Got home.
They're so painful.
Still hiccuping. Oh. I was like, this is crazy. And I was trying to tell her a story. I was trying to talk about alien hand syndrome. Mm-hmm. And there's this long word that I was trying to say that had something to do with it.
You just couldn't say it.
And every time I got halfway through that word, hiccup. It was like clockwork. I tried to time it out. I held my breath for like 30 seconds. I was just trying anything.
Just couldn't do it.
When I was little, my mom would give me shot glasses of lemon juice.
That's interesting.
It was not fun.
I was just trying to scare my sister when she got them.
Scaring seems like a good tactic. Or
it
like
does, but
they say like go upside down, like do a headstand or something.
Holy cow. Is that a motorcycle? That was crazy.
Yeah.
That guy was flying.
If you guys didn't hear that, we just heard a crazy motorcycle.
That was wild.
I thought it was something else at first. I don't know.
Long.
I don't know what I thought it was at first, but
man, that guy was flying.
Motorcycle. Anyway.
So you're fire.
So I preheated the oven, and it reached peak temperature, and I was like, perfect. I'm gonna put the muffins in, the pancake muffins in. Open it, flames. Flames go. And I was like,
you preheated it. Wait, this was
my stuff isn't in there yet.
Yeah, you're just.
My stuff's not in there.
So you just turned it on.
I just turned it on.
Okay.
And apparently, my mom. We have 3 cats.
Oh no.
There's not a cat in the oven. I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh. That was a bad way to start the sentence. That's on me.
That would have been amazing.
That was amazing.
That would have been a story that I would have told for the rest of my life.
I just cremate my cat.
There's this girl that I worked with whenever I was 22. She killed a cat in an oven.
No, that was a bad way. That's on me. That's on me.
You peaked so hard there.
Oh, I know. I was laughing straight into it.
Wow, that would have been insane.
Oh, crazy story. No, she had cooked brownies and she had cooked something else like a couple of nights before, and it's covered, but it's just covered with like tinfoil or something because it's in the pan she baked it in. And because I guess she like let it cool in there and she didn't put it into something else, and she didn't want the cats walking on it. Because at night, they're disobedient little guys. They'll get on the counters.
Sure.
And so she just didn't want a cat busting through and getting their little paws all over her brownies, I guess.
So she left them in there.
She left things that you shouldn't put near heat. So She had a metal pan with aluminum foil, a bunch of brownies.
That's
and then
not good.
on the rack below, she had a giant like plastic tub with something else. So
you heated that thing up to 450 and then flames.
Big, yeah. And so one of them is burning, the other one is melting. So there's this like pool of like liquid plastic on the bottom where that coil is. And so like that coil's done for. We can't do anything about it. Like it's just like caked on.
Right.
And in the moment, I was going through all the things I knew about fire in my head. I was just trying to flip through the pages of like, what's the next step?
Right.
And I think I heard baking soda was a thing that people throw on flame. There's
Maybe.
something they say don't use water. They say use something else.
Okay.
But in the moment, I was like, should I shut the door? And then I said no. First mistake, because oxygen's going to heat into it. But then I thought, how many opportunities am I going to have to film an oven on fire? So I pull out my camera. I pull out my camera and I do a pretty extensive video. All the smoke detectors are going off.
And you're filming it.
I don't know what to do. My family was sleeping.
Oh, that's better. You're the only one awake in this house. There's a fire, and you pull out your phone to film it.
You never listen, Ian.
That's the last thought on my mind. I want a viral TikTok as much as the last person.
I didn't even have TikTok. I wasn't gonna post this anywhere. I don't know what.
All right.
So
how long did you film it for before you're like?
I don't know. I have the video somewhere in my Snapchat history.
That's insane.
But I know. But you never know how you're gonna react in these situations.
So what did you do next? Fire extinguisher?
I didn't know where ours was, so
that's good. Step number 3.
So I filmed not for a long time.
Okay.
I was like, the fire is contained, but then I started thinking I should wake somebody up.
Good next call.
Close the oven.
Oh,
Tap on.
After you had filmed it and the fire alarms are going off. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But fire alarms for my family apparently.
Did you turn the oven off?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That was step number 1.
I'm glad you thought about that before pulling out your phone.
But no, it's a really funny video because our house is small. But I must have taken. I don't know. I must have taken some steps back because I did like a walkthrough.
Yeah.
So you see
That's absurd.
fire alarms and the flames coming out of the.
Who'd you wake up?
I think my mom. Pretty sure. And probably also my dad. My brother, sleeping through it. He's just vibing.
Good. Classic.
He's the one closest to the oven, actually. But anyway, it gets put out.
That's good.
Everything's fine.
How'd they put it out?
Great question. I don't remember.
Oh, they just, hey, Mom, Dad, figure this one out. I'm going to
I
go back to bed.
I was like, funny story. There's flames in the kitchen. And so they went over there, take care of it. We didn't have an oven for a while because we just couldn't figure out the coils. But to be fair, how was I to know that we were storing just containers in there?
Fair enough.
Who does that? My mom, apparently.
I've heard of people storing quilts in the oven, which is just as bad.
Yeah. But if I shot a pastry into space as a peace offering, I think I would choose. I just can't think of anything better than Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tart. Goodbye, Pop-Tarts.
Oh, but maybe like a...
RIP.
Maybe...
Rest in peace. Rest in space. Rest. Rest in space.
Maybe like one of those donuts that doesn't have the hole in the middle. Because it might remind them of home with their spaceships and their UFOs and stuff. I'd be like, you get like a donut without the hole, and then you put like the little tiny like round donut holes.
Inside
hole things.
of it, and then
you put it on the top so it looks like a flying saucer.
Oh, there you go.
And then you package it really well and send it up. And then there's like a little note, and it's like Earth, heart, the aliens.
Peace. All right. Well,
that's it.
That's it.
I think.
This is episode 3?
Yeah.
I think.
It is.
I'm going to be so bad at remembering this when we get to like double digits.
Because we will get to double digits.
We will get to double digits.
Yeah.
And I think, we'll be on the road eventually. And honestly, we'll probably have, 6 more episodes before we're on the road?
Is it only 6?
Yeah.
No.
And then I think we're gonna set up a home studio maybe.
We should.
Because we're not gonna be traveling all the time together. So we're gonna want a home studio at some point.
We won't be.
No.
That's a sad thought to think about.
It is a sad thought to think about. But we're gonna need a setup.
Yeah.
And whether we keep filming in here, but there's gonna be stuff in here eventually.
There's going to be a lot of stuff in here. So our scenery will change, but the content will also change. But
honestly, not much will change except for the background.
Yeah.
Like
we will continue to be the hosts.
We will. And I think eventually we're gonna have like arms for microphones, maybe a desk, like an L desk or something that we sit
I thought
at.
you meant on our chairs at first, and I was like, that
Arms
would actually
on our
be
chairs.
really
That would
nice.
be really nice. We had arms on our chairs last week, which was a blast.
We did.
I missed that, to be honest.
Me too.
But next week, potential guest.
Yeah.
We'll let you guys know if that happens. You will see if that happens.
If we don't get a guest, we're gonna AI somebody in.
That's right. We're gonna interview an AI person, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be exciting.
But tune in next week. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. I think that's it.
And as always, thanks for hearing us out.
Thanks for hearing us out. Thank you for hearing us out. I said that so weird the first time. All right. See you next week.
Bye.
Peace out.